Good morning, students. Welcome to the literature class. Today, we will be discussing about a new chapter, new lesson, that is second lesson, Down the Rabbit Hole. Down the Rabbit Hole. And down the rabbit hole, we are this very interesting lesson and this very famous lesson. This lesson is taught and it is found in many of the novels and the storybooks and the textbooks. It is written by the person known as Lewis Carroll, important writer. And this is a fantasy story. The story which is not exactly that happened. Okay, is the fantasy writing. Okay, fiction. It's called fiction and fantasy. Fiction, fiction. So, in this story, we will read about Alice, rabbit and Alice. Some say Alice, but then better one and proper pronunciation is Alice. Okay, Alice. Down the rabbit hole. Alice goes down the rabbit hole. How she goes? Is that one fine day, Alice was sitting with her sister. And sister was under the tree. She was reading a book. Alice was sitting Alice and her sister. They were sitting under the tree. And Alice was reading a book. A book had no conversation, no pictures whatsoever. That means no conversation means no dialogues. Dialogue forms, like we have the cartoon. You have the cartoon books. If you have read the cartoon book, then there are dialogues are written. Once this character says something, then in reply this character says something. So there is that kind is known as dialogue. That is conversation. So there was no conversation, no dialogue form of writing. And so it was boring for Alice. She did not like that. And so said, then she was feeling drowsy. And she said, no, let me not waste my time, let me collect the daisies. Small flower, wild flowers, white flower on the grass. She started collecting. While collecting the daisies, what happens is she saw a rabbit coming. And then the rabbit is saying, oh, I am late. Let me see. And he took out the watch. Took out from the waist pocket a clock. Those days the clocks were not tied. The watches were not tied like here. Not hung on the wall. Have you seen the Gandhiji's clock? Hello, say, have you seen Gandhiji's clock? If you have seen the picture of Gandhiji on your the wall, it is there. They have made a small clock. This is Rupsa. I was telling to identify this event. See, I am telling like class. Rupsa. Today I was taking your name in the class. So how to identify? How do we know? How is Rupsa known? Because of her dance. Identity. I was teaching. So, Rupsa, how are you? Fine. Huh? You came alone?
Yeah.
Where is Did you go to your school?
Yes, only for giving exam, final and revision classes.
Very good. Nice. Nice. Sure. Good. Yes, nice to see you. Yes. Good thing we do.
Right.
Now you're here, no? You are going back again. So now you are in class 10. Yes. Very good. How is the school there? You have the coaching classes also?
Yes. We are not going to school, we are going to coaching classes.
Coaching classes. Okay, yes. I see. Okay. Nice. We show the rest.
Yeah, next.
Yes. Okay. So that was Rupsa. She came to visit. So that is the rabbit hole. She was not interested. So it is a fiction. So she was not interested. So she said she saw. I was talking about the Gandhiji. A clock, a small clock hung. So similarly, this rabbit had the waist pocket and then waistcoat pocket, and then in that pocket there was a clock. So he takes out the clock and he shows, and then he sees the time, and then he runs. Seeing that Alice was drawn up. She was surprised to see that, and so she ran. She followed the rabbit, and she was running, and then under the hedge. We have described what is hedge. So under the hedge there was a rabbit hole. So she entered in the rabbit hole, and then she was running. Suddenly she fell, started falling down. She started falling, and when she was falling, she realized that she is falling, and then she remembered that remembered her parents. They will say, family members will say, give the Sabashi. Sabashi means encourage me, give me congratulations and all that. For falling such gracefully, without getting any hurt. Is falling. And when she was falling, she saw the cupboards, the different types of things kept. The pictures are hung on the pegs. Pegs means the hanger, small hanger that you have. This is a peg. For example, there is a picture hung. This is called peg. See that? See, this is called peg. On which this board is hung. Okay, that is called peg. There also we have got the calendars. Calendars are hung. All those things are pegs. See that? Calendars are hung. So that's why it says the pegs are there, and then pictures are hung. So she sees all that and says this. But then once falling, she realized that I am reaching the center of the earth, passing the latitude and longitude lines of latitude and longitude. All those things she was thinking. At the end, she realizes that she is having that Dina. Dina should have been with me. Dina is a pet dog, and she thinks that Dina would be here, right? And she saw the bat and all that flying. No mice, only bat. And so they see that, do the cat eat bat? If Dina would have been here, she would have enjoyed eating bat. But then do the cat eat bat? Really, this was the difficult question. And nobody is there to answer. So she was speaking to herself, and then started falling. Then realized that she is walking with the Dina. And then at the end, boom! She fell down. She fell down where she fell down? She fell down on the dry wood and the dry leaves. A heap of wood sticks were kept, and all that, and also the leaves were there, and there she fell down. Then realized, I came to the end of the point. That is what the lesson. This is how the story ends. So here he is not interested. She is not interested reading books. Rabbit, she sees the rabbit with watch and the waist pocket. And then she follows into the rabbit hole. And she sees all the cupboards, the pictures, the bats, the creatures that she sees. That also you have to identify. And so please read this one, the story that I have told. Please read the story. Then you will realize. I'll tell you next class about the word meaning and all that. I will tell you the exercises. And this is how it's a good story. Within no time we can understand. Okay. Thank you very much.